320 alpha, 330 millimeters of turret armor, 300 millimeters of pen on premium rounds, and that is a tier 8 medium on tier 8. I screwed that one up, didn't I? In any case, that is the M project. A tank where you're like, why? What is going on? A tank which you're like, oh look, it's another tier 9 tank shoehorned onto tier 8 with trash gun handling stats. A classic from Wargaming, don't we know that all? So, the M project is basically an M47 which has been up-armored quite a bit. It has additional armor plates on the belly, so it's a little bit choppier like I am at the moment, and it has a lot thicker turret. The turret in that case has apparently frontally 330 millimeters of armor. However, we do not know yet how the armor model looks like. So I assume it's the gun mantle, which is 330 millimeters. And the rest boxy stuff around is most likely just spaced armor, so it will be pretty decent against HE spammers, like an FV or, at the moment, the Cobra. The Cobra especially being very annoying when it comes to HE spamming. Now, let's talk about the gun. The gun is a 105mm gun, which has 320 alpha with AP and heat rounds and 420 with HE. But no worries guys, the HE is not really good, it only has 53mm of penetration. It also has 230mm of base penetration on AP and 300 on heat, which is really, really, really good. Please do not forget about that. Reload time 9.6 seconds is in my opinion fair for 320 alpha. Sadly 3 seconds aim time and 0.4 for accuracy. Again, there we get the issue with tier 9 tank on tier 8 with shitty gun handling. Again, literally a Bofors-Sturmwagen problem, or a lot of other tanks in that regard. It has 10 degrees of gun depression, typical American, so it will be really, really, really good when it comes to go pull down. And shell rounds, 54 rounds, it's okay. You know, it's a lot better than what, for example, the Mighty Core has with just 20 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the gun itself looks fairly interesting. Like 320 alpha on tier 8 on a medium is okay, but you will see that armor and mobility wise this tank is more a heavy, so it is a Super Pershing equivalent, more probably even the new American Super Pershing without special matchmaking. The thing is, 300mm of base penetration, premium penetration is massive. There are only very few tanks on tier 9, tier 8 which also have that. And that is a heavy, basically. So you're trading with 300mm of penetration against other heavies, which maybe have like 260, maybe 280 premium round penetration. That is not a lot. And at least on a turret, you have really, really good armor, you know? So you will get into position very easily with the mobility, which we're just going to look right now, because it has 40 kph top speed and 15 kph in reverse. So it'll still be faster than most heavies on your tier. Plus they can also use a turbo, which is even being boosted by default. Perfect, isn't it? 800 horsepower giving us 17 HP per ton ratio, which is really, really good. Turret traverse is 30 degrees per second, hull 32. That's okay, we can live with that. So mobility, again, you are not a slouch either. You have pretty decent HP per ton ratio, and you should get into positions fairly easily. Hit point wise, you have a little bit little, 1300 only, but again, it is a medium, not a heavy, technically, even though it is a heavy. Hull armor 102 millimeters. Not that good, but don't forget you have the armor plates, additional armor plates on the hull. So most likely it's the M47 armor or hull with maybe like, I don't know, 30 millimeters of additional armor plates on top. I don't know. We will see that when the tank is getting released to the to the test server, so we can see it on tanks.gg. The thing is, again, 330 millimeters of turret armor frontally. I don't see a cupola. It might be hidden from the angle of the picture they are showcasing here, but I assume that it's most likely is the gun mantle, which is 330 millimeters of thickness. Then I guess the cheeks are like 76 or I don't know, less armor, but they are obviously spaced armor because we have armor behind it. That's why it looks so boxy and so ugly. So we still are looking at a very, very potent turret. Why? Why is that on tier 8? At least from the paper stats. Maybe the armor model showcased that it's really only the gun handle which is incredibly strong and the rest is poo-poo pee-pee easy pen. Who knows? I don't know. I can just assume. But if we assume that the whole front is basically 330 or out of bounds angles with additional armor plating, why? Like, it is actually really good against a tank like the Cobra when you're hull down because it will do 0 damage. Or even stage 2 it will do 0 damage because you have so massive armor in the front of the turret. And spaced armor most likely. It also kind of reminds me of the M48 Super, which is, I think, a German project to revitalize the M48 tanks with additional armor plating and stuff like that. It also has a very boxy look. But, I don't know. I personally think that this is a missed opportunity to put this tank on tier 9. It would have been a lot better on tier 9, I guess, because you don't need to castrate the gun handling that much. And the penetration values are still very, very good for tier 9. You know, you can argue that the alpha is a little bit lackluster with just 320, but you give it a little bit better DPM or reload time, and it can hold its weight more or less fine. But again, we all know that Wargaming loves to kill tanks with gun handling. And that is very annoying, because, like, come on, why, like, we are already at the point where Wargaming sells tier 9 premiums. WZ-114 and the Stridswagen K. Like, why do we not have this tank on tier 9 as well? And balance it properly. Balance it that it makes fun to play, at least with the gun. It just makes no sense in my opinion. It's kind of sad really in that regard, because like, it has potential, like the M project. And I think at the moment it is strong, just from the paper stats. It really depends with how the armor is, but it is strong and it has a good gun. The DPM isn't that bad either in my opinion. However, with the dogshit gun handling, and that's just how it is, it's not going to make a lot of fun, is it now? Like, what am I supposed to say? It's bad. The gun handling is bad. It's basically as bad as the microphone quality I'm having here in Tuscany. Again, I'm sorry, I just have to roll with what I'm having. It's just how it is. Yeah, in any case, it also has 390 meters of view range, which is very, very good. Like, that is workable view range. And we have 4 crew members, which is, as far as I know, the same as the M48 and the M60. So we'll be totally a-okay in that regard. In any case, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though, again, the quality is not as good as per usual. But, as already mentioned, being in holiday, I have to go with what I have, and I can't get everything with me when we are trying to chill here. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the Char MLE 75 video, 57 video. Did the same stupid mistake again with the numbers, because German and English. And I hope to see you around in another video. Cheers and goodbye.